Hello, welcome to this video. I look like some kind of car fanatic. I'm in our spare room, which is mostly Jonathan's like hobby stuff, but it's the only place he has a desk. So I've kind of taken claim to this area, even though it's where he's theoretically making model cars. I thought that we could hang out while I do some writing because I got a new mouse and keyboard and I haven't really used them yet. The lighting is kind of strange in here. I'm like in front of a window, so it's quite sunny, but that might help me. I'm like a plant. I've had the keyboard for a few weeks and I've used it a little bit, but the mouse like took longer to arrive. So I'm excited to like use them together. I also have fun nails on. I don't know how that will go with typing because so far it's been annoying, but these are like raised, so it might be better. I thought I would give you an update on what I'm reading. I haven't had any caffeine, but I thought this might help because I'm feeling quite like low energy, low mood, and I don't know why. So writing and vlogging might help. So I've got a spoon to get the tab because my nails will rip off, I think, if I just go in there. There we go. Put the spoon down. They're really cute. I chose the hearts because it's mine and Jonathan's anniversary on Sunday, so I wanted to have the heart nails for that. It's actually quite hot sitting here in the sun. I don't know how anyone like lives with fake nails, but I guess maybe the glue's better. My glue's just from Kmart. I'm experimenting with a nail art, I guess. These are really good, but I hardly ever buy them because they're small. But it's after 12, so I probably shouldn't have too much caffeine. Tastes good. I'm experimenting with nails because nail polish really annoys me. It's good for like a day and then starts chipping. I have like a real problem with picking the skin around my fingernails. Like, I don't bite my nails. I used to when I was a kid, but instead I just realized I'm not wearing any of my rings apart from this one. I pick at the skin around my fingers really badly, and the other week it was like atrocious. Like, I do it so badly that it hurts to touch things. Like, there's something needs to change here, and with fake nails on I can't really do that. Like, I can't get a grip on the skin. I haven't even tried because I'm distracted by having nice nails. That's kind of why I've decided to try doing it. We'll see. They don't last very long before one comes off, but I've just glued them back on. Anyway, that's my spiel. That's got nothing to do with writing. I might go put my rings on. I usually get overstimulated when I'm writing and take my rings off, but you know, I've got my nails on and my keyboard. That's all new. I feel like I need everything to come together, you know? Before I start talking about writing, I wanted to mention what I've been reading recently. So I'm actually concurrently reading 2 books, which I never do. I can't really read 2 books at once. It just means that one will get DNF'd. The first book is Vilest by Gong. I've been reading this for such a long time. That's how far through I am. Feels like I've been reading this for 10 years. But I don't have too far to go. So hopefully I'll finish it. Maybe I should make it a goal to finish that this weekend. It's just really dense and I'm not really invested in the characters like I was in the first book. Like, I honestly don't really care what's happening, and quite a big plot twist happened and I didn't really care. Like, I thought it was kind of dumb that it happened. But the decisions that Carla was making were kind of dumb. The second book I started reading was this because I got it out of the library like a few weeks ago now, so I'm worried about it being due. That's how far I've gotten. I'm really liking this. It's sapphic, which I've never read a sapphic story and felt convinced by the relationship dynamic. I don't know if that's toxic of me, but I just need a masculine energy in a ship for me to root for them. But the tension between these 2 characters, and they hate each other, I like that. I really love it, enemies to lovers, and they really don't like each other. They're like kind of academic rivals, like repressing their feelings. At least the main character, she feels like she's just obviously in love with her but is repressing her feelings about it. So this is my fun read. This is my, I need to get through this so it's over because I want to finish it. Because I really enjoyed the first one, so I need to do it. This is my obligation read and this is my fun read. I've also got like mystery and magic. The magic is known as the ether, which is interesting to read because my magic system is also the ether, which I realise isn't that unique because ether is like something that has been in like mythology or like understanding the universe like for a really long time, because like I came up with the idea from researching, aka reading Wikipedia, so that's where my idea came from. So it's not surprising that other people have also read the kind of same material as me and also gotten similar ideas. So my writing project is The Legend of Bologna, and it's like fantasy romance subplot. The romance was meant to be like the main plot, now it's a subplot. My main character Bologna is the reincarnation of the god of war, and I think that's the main things you would need to know. I started this draft about 6 weeks ago and I've already gone through Act 1 and Act 2, and I thought Act 2 was the bad one. My neighbour's dog's going crazy. I thought Act 2 was going to be awful, but it was way better than I thought it was. So I think what you need to do with writing is convince yourself that it's bad, because I thought Act 2 was bad and I thought Act 3 was good. I found it to be the opposite way, and I think it's just my expectations going into it that have done that. Act 2, I thought it was boring, I thought it was a slog, but rereading it, I actually really liked it, and I think everything like has a purpose, all the events that are happening have a purpose, and it's the act where the love interests are like they're in the full proximity with each other, whereas Act 3, that kind of shifts. But yeah, in Act 3, I started working on it on the 23rd, and today's the 27th. So I didn't write yesterday, but I have every other day of this week. So Act 3 is not as good as I thought it was, and it's a lot more choppy and disorganized, and because there's a lot of characters being introduced, it's like introducing them in an interesting way and like keeping readers' attentions, because I'm invested in these characters because I care about them, but a reader won't necessarily. Yeah, I've also added like so many more chapters, because if you've watched my other videos, I didn't really have chapters in draft 1. It was just kind of like plot beats that I had broken it up into to like keep track of what was happening. I'm currently at chapter 29, I want to say. Yes, I'm at chapter 29, and I'm like halfway through Act 3, maybe not quite halfway through Act 3, and the chapters will get more and more because things happen. I'm like, this is where the chapter needs to end, like it's just an instinctual thing, like this is the end of the chapter. So I'm seeing that a lot better in the second draft than in the first one. My current total word count is 45, no, I think it's 50. Yeah, my current total chapter count is 50, but I haven't updated it since I've added in a few chapters earlier, so it's probably over 50. But I think I'm preferring shorter chapters because I feel like that makes you as a reader feel like you're achieving things faster, and I don't want it to feel like really dense and long, if that makes sense. But I'm not going to break them up like ridiculously. If things go together, I'll keep them together. Like, I've been tracking my word count for chapters, and we have 1,800, 1,000, 3,700, 2,300. So it's between like 1,000 to 3,000. The first chapter of Act 2 was 4,000 words. Maybe that could be cut more in half, I don't know. Like, I don't want to cut things in half for the sake of a word count. I want the vibe to be there more than anything. But most chapters are like between 2,000 and 3,000 words, which I think is normal. I don't know. I'm used to writing chapters for posting on AO3, and I feel like a longer chapter is better than a shorter chapter on AO3 because then people have more to read on the update. So it feels a bit different. I guess I'll just start writing because I've just yapped for 14 minutes. So I'll do some writing, show you my keyboard, and give you an update on whatever the fuck I have to say about my writing today. I don't know if this video is going to be just today or maybe tomorrow as well. We'll see how we go. I haven't actually connected this mouse yet. Bluetooth. Oh, okay, Logipop mouse. So I got the Logipop mouse in purple, and also obviously the keyboard matching in purple as well. I don't know if this lighting is like weird and bad. There we go, the mouse works. That's good, because I was kind of struggling having the keyboard down here and like needing here, especially because in ellipsis I only figured out how to turn on pretty quotes. There's a word for it. There's like dumb quotes and smart quotes. I only figured out how to turn on smart quotes when I'd already finished basically the whole draft. So a big thing I'm doing, and like is taking like as much time as anything else, is highlighting or deleting each individual quotation mark and backspacing it and redoing it so that it's smart. And that's really annoying without a mouse. I've been doing a lot of like arrows between things, and also all of the, it's not a comma, apostrophe, all of the apostrophes I'm having to do that too as well, which is quite annoying to be honest, but nice that I now have this mouse. And it has such a gentle click. I'm not sure about that because the top just comes like straight off. Like it's not really attached. Maybe it's a magnet. Yeah, it must be a magnet. The thing is though, is you can't swipe between desktops. But you can scroll with your little finger. Gonna get hair all over my nice keyboard. She already is. I've been googling positions in a restaurant, like job positions, because there's like a tavern and I need to know what people's jobs are for it to make sense. Finally sit down. Use this link. I've written 448 words. They're all new words because there's a lot of gaps in the scenes that I'm currently working on. So it's a slog. There's a lot of staring at the document. But I think it's getting better. It's just hard right now in the scene that I'm up to. The next scene's gonna be, like the next chapter's gonna be more fun because I remember more of it being written. Like the chapter I'm working on right now is kind of like character relationship building, which is kind of harder because I don't know the answers. Like I'm figuring them out as I go, of like people's personality, and like I know the motives of everyone, but how to communicate that. Like the tavern owner has a curse on her, and trying to find a way to communicate that in a way that's interesting. I'm kind of struggling. I think there's kind of a thing with everything, is knowing the backstory and finding the right way to explain it without it coming across as boring or as an exposition dump. And it's like close third person, so we only know what Bologna knows. So information has to be presented to Bologna for us to know it. I think I could break that, but it doesn't feel right. It wouldn't be right. Especially because a lot of the books so far she's been around the MMC and she doesn't know any of his perspective, so it'd be really weird if I was suddenly explaining things from a perspective outside of Bologna's, like an omniscient point of view. Would be strange after being so cut off from the MMC. So I don't think I can do it. So it has to be in a way that's presented to Bologna as well as audience at the same time. Yeah, that's how I'm going right now. I don't know how much more writing I'll get done today. I'll probably keep trying to work on it. I don't know. Jonathan gets home at 4:30, which I'm just holding out for. I really like the mouse. It scrolls really fast, so that's having to adjust to that. But it's nice to have. The keyboard, I think it'll take some practice to like get good at typing on this, because I'm a very fast typer and I'm fastest on this, but I wanted this anyway. It's a mechanical keyboard. I haven't said that. It makes really nice noises, but it's not as fast as I am on the laptop. I do like that it has a delete button, so it will delete what's forward in the sentence, and then a backspace button for going backwards. That's my update. I have a cat on me.
sound check.
I'm skim reading some sections at this point because it's so... I feel like there's a lot of details you don't need. Technically, a plot twist just happened. This is a good plot twist. It would be a good plot twist if you were really invested in the book, but I am not at this point.
Neither.
So, you're not invested in the book I'm reading that you know nothing about.
I know it's got pages.
Yep, I'm on page 368. That's a lot of pages.
A lot of ads.
I was worried the last chapter's in someone else's POV and I let myself think this was a duology. It's not a duology, and just like the first book, something crazy was revealed in this last chapter, which was literally 3.5 pages, and it kind of reframes a whole character again. I'm not sure. This was published in 2024, so I assume the next book is probably coming out like this year. I don't know if I want to read it or not. I think I would give this 3 stars because I struggled so much and I was skipping, like I was just reading the first line of a lot of paragraphs towards the end to get through it, because there's a lot of information that doesn't need to be there, like for my comprehension. I'll maybe sleep on it and decide more clear thoughts. Hi, it's Saturday. To be honest, I wanted to put makeup on, but that hasn't happened. I am writing. Ellipsis was being a little bitch and was loading the page but not loading the words on the page. So I've gone back to using Chrome because I was having to use Safari for ellipsis because Chrome, it kept coming up with this error, but now it seems to be working and the words are loading, so I don't know what's up there. And then suddenly the spell check started working, because I don't know if I mentioned it in a video, but for some reason this document specifically, even though I had the spell check turned on, the spell check was not highlighting words that were spelled incorrectly, and suddenly now it's working. And it's quite funny because like literally every single person's name is a spelling mistake. Like it thinks this is a spelling mistake. The name Maddie, it thinks this is a spelling mistake because I've spelt it M-A-D-D-I-E. It thinks that's a spelling mistake. I have a character called Florrie, F-L-O-R-R-I-E. It thinks that's a spelling mistake. I have a character called Daniel, which is something I've made up. It's Daniel with the T at the beginning because I wanted different but familiar. And then I have a character called Zai-Chen. I also made up that name, I think. So it obviously thinks that's spelled wrong. And then Stellan is a name that exists, and I've just come across and thinks that name is not a real name. So I'm having to do a lot of ignore because it thinks all of those names are spelled wrong. And I know it will also think that the MC's name is spelled wrong. I'm not saying what his name is, I don't want to tell you, but his name will also be a spelling mistake, like I know it will be. And Emrys, I have a character called Emrys, E-M-R-Y-S, and it thought that was not right. So literally every single person's name it thinks is not a real name. I have a character called Palace, but it does think her name is okay. I don't know if that's because I've already made it okay in the past and can't remember. So that's my update right now. I'm kind of going back over what I was working on the last few days and fixing it, because I had a lot of scenes that were like, this happens, so I'm making it more interesting and like fleshed out, trying to at least. Yes, still working on chapter 29. It's a lot of like character establishing background stuff right now because she meets a lot of characters in the third act that are like really pivotal to the plot, and like it's meant to be 3 books, I think. So like these characters will obviously show up like, you know, way more, but like in future books they're like really pivotal to her found family situation. My current word count is 71,000, which is quite high. My first draft, the whole first draft was something like 90. Yeah, my whole first draft was 89,000 and I'm already at 70. Where am I gone? 71, and I'm only on Act 3, beginning of Act 3. I just realised I had to restart my computer because of I was trying to get Ellipsis to work, and it's gotten rid of my background, which is my Legend of Bologna themed background. I don't know what's happened there, or where I would have that picture saved. I don't know. Anyway, that's my update. I think I want to try connect my keyboard to my iPad just for funsies, because I do feel like the screen is too far away when I'm at the desk, so maybe an iPad could be a bit closer. But I don't have a case for my iPad that helps it stand up, so I'm not sure how that will go. How am I supposed to write with this? Ridiculous. Hello, I'm on the microphone because Jonathan is watching a podcast right here, and it's really loud, but I think the microphone should delete that. I put makeup on and I use like a concealer that I never use, and I think it's like way, way, way too dark for me. So I'm worried I look insane. Do I look like I'm the wrong colour? It's a plane going over. You probably can't hear it because of there's a helicopter. You won't be able to hear it anyway because of the microphone. So I'm back to, I want to try the keyboard with the iPad, like I said. Slinky sat on me like that for a whole hour. It wasn't until I shut my laptop that he got up and left. I think he's gone outside now. Oh, and I was Googling bloodletting from the medieval times, and it's really gross. But these are the things you need to Google to make your story accurate, and also those scenes in my story need to be creepy. So part of that is creeping myself out in the process. So it's supposed to be relatively easy to connect this keyboard and this mouse to more than one device because it has buttons to quickly switch between devices. My main problem is how to get the iPad standing up since I don't have, anything. Maybe I need to hold it for now, which is also difficult because I don't have a stand. Okay, so I need to go settings. I'll do the mouse first. I feel like that will be the most helpful. Okay, so it's got this button on the back. This is a tutorial now. And I guess I just push it and it swaps to the second one. I'll go Bluetooth, Logi Pop Mouse, here, connected. This is really cool. Can you see it's like got a dot where the mouse is? The only thing is, how do you go home without swiping? Don't know. So I've turned the keyboard on and I'll press the number 2 here. Hold it down maybe? And then I'll click on the pop keys. I have to enter a code. 006616. It's not doing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Turn the screen recording on now. So you can see the mouse. That's cool. And what I need to do is go to, the last thing I looked up was album art for Lord. I don't remember what I was doing there. Right, ellipsis. This is what it was doing earlier that I told you was annoying. Not loading the words. There we go. Oh, the mouse scrolls the opposite to what I would expect it to. So, as you can see, I'm on chapter 30. This is quite fun. I don't know how good it will be long term. I think if I had like a case that would hold it up at the right angle, because right now it's really low, but I do like how close it is because my laptop feels really far away. The main thing I'm doing right now is fixing all the quotation marks. As you can tell, it's very time consuming and annoying. Slinky has arrived. He might try sit on me. Overall, my review of connecting these keyboard and mouse to my iPad is it's fun. And I think it's good to have like a change of scenery to your writing if you ever feel like stagnant or like having different options as well is fun. I can't figure out how to change the scrolling. The scrolling is not what I naturally. I think it's opposite to my laptop. Slinky is rubbing his face on the camera stand. He's sabotaging me. Yeah, that's all I have to say right now. There was one thing I wanted to say, is that although deleting all of the quotation marks and redoing them is really tedious, the scene is really fun and it's like quite a, not like a plot twist, but like a plot reveal that's unexpected and I like it. So I'm having fun reading it, even if fixing all the quotation marks is really tedious. I was just writing in my junk journal some thoughts about the books that I read this month. I don't know if I'll ever care to read back on this, but I did it anyway. And then I was just thinking about vilest things, which I finished yesterday. I gave it 3 stars in the end. There are a couple of things about it that I figured out why I didn't really like it. I think there's too much of a focus on the politics in the world, and there's so many exposition dumps about the different provinces and the different terrain in all of those places that has like no impact on the story whatsoever, and all these council members' names and their backgrounds, because there's like a plot, all these council members are getting killed off, and it's too much information, while also at the same time there's like not enough character depth. Like the main romance, they're not together at the beginning because Keller betrayed him, but then they should be mad at each other, but that's not really shown, and there's no like emotional turmoil about Anton still being in love with her even though she betrayed him. I feel like that could have been done way better. And then like 3/4 of it into the book, they get together and they have sex, and it's after they've been like horse riding, and they explicitly say that they're really tired and gross and like nearly falling over from fatigue, and then they have sex on the floor. And that was just really off-putting. And then there were these lines that were like meant to be really poetic and deep, of them like committing to each other over anyone else, and it didn't really hit because there was no build up. It didn't feel like there was any build up in the relationship for Carla to be like, I've been in love with you this whole time, that's why I'm here. Like, we were never showing that in her head. And then Anton like pledges his life to her, and it just feels like a lot with not enough. Like the payoff isn't there because there was no build up. In the end, there's all this stuff with the body jumping. Like that's the main magic in this universe, is that people can body jump, but like people are not suspicious of each other, and there's no way to like check who is inside different bodies, which you think if the whole society is used to body jumping, like it's a very common thing that's not policed. you think there should be a check and it's supposed to be given away by your eye color, but like Anton is inside August's body for like the whole book and nobody notices, even though his eyes are, no, August's eyes are black and I think Anton's are purple or something. So that should give it away, but no one guesses it. Even his closest like guard takes ages to notice. And then color jumps into the body of somebody else and doesn't get noticed at all. Like I feel like there should be more, people should be more wary. People aren't wary at all that there could be someone else inside someone's body, even though that's what the whole magic system is built on. So I just, like, that bothers me, especially because all of the plot twists are based on, like, the craziest plot twist, both at the end of the first book and the end of the second book, was that someone was inside someone's body and it wasn't known that they were inside them. That makes sense. So it was like believed that the person was the original person, but it's not. And it's like, how many times can that be the plot twist when I don't know if that makes sense. I just feel like if that keeps catching people out, there should be more of a system for policing that. And there's not. And I think there's too much reliance on plot twists. Also, the whole political intrigue thing. I think this book is trying to be The Cruel Prince, but it's not. It's not working. The romance in Cruel Prince was lacking for me a little bit, but it was better than this. That tells you anything. There is a third book coming out in August called The Eyes of Kings, I think. I'm not really interested in reading it. I probably won't read it because I didn't really enjoy this last book. So that's my thoughts. Funny because I was loving Chloe Gong in the first book, and then in the second book I'm not having a good time. A lot of the Goodreads review says that it wasn't her best work, so maybe I need to try a different book of hers. The book I'm reading right now still is on this tiny little picture, so I don't know if I'll finish it before, there you go. I don't know, I might finish it before the end of the month. I'll put it in there with my thoughts on Monday. I'm quite enjoying that one. So, and I have a new calendar page for April. Isn't that crazy? You're already in April, almost. I need the next month to start like on a fresh double page. So whatever adventures we get up to tomorrow, I might collect things from that and put that here. Because as I mentioned, it's our anniversary tomorrow. So I wanted to have a picnic, but it's supposed to rain. Not ideal. This is the end of the video, so I thought I'd just give a summary of my writing and reading. I've added 4,000 words to my document, so that's good. I'm enjoying the keyboard, but my laptop is still faster, so I don't think there's anything else I need to say about writing. I'm this far through on my book, so I'm definitely over halfway. I'm really enjoying it. I really like mostly the relationship dynamic, and the magic system is fun. I really like their dynamic, and the main character Lorelai has just realized that she's actually in love with, well, she's not calling it love, she's realized that she has feelings for Sylvia, and it's like in a way that's like obvious, but she thought it was, the feelings were hate, but the feelings aren't hate. So that's fun. So hopefully they'll kiss soon. That'll be fun. And I'm happy with my progress on my writing, and now it's time to go to bed. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.
Slink. Woo.